Okay.
Dad's back?
Yeah.
Is he 100% yet?
No, I doubt if he's 100%. You know, an ankle, once you do it, it takes about months to get 100%, but he's going to be ready to play.
What about Grant Anger? Is he going to be playing?
Yeah, he's going to be playing. I don't know about starting yet. He's got to have a comfortable couple days before he could be a starter.
Will Clayton York be taking over the fullback position then?
Yes, Clayton's going to be the fullback. Michael Balfour will be his backup.
Like this team, physically, do you feel a lot more confident they can stop the Oregon run than maybe what you've done the last couple of years?
We have to prove that, Bob. And that's a big chore, but we haven't done it, so we do have to prove it if we can do it. Our defensive team is definitely better, but we're going to play a big challenge, is putting it mildly.
As you look back, has that been the biggest factor the last
Run.
couple or 3 years?
Run,
there?
yeah. It's usually football's, when you sum it all up, it's a lot about running and run defense, and so we haven't been very good. And this year we're much better, at least statistically, a lot better. So that's encouraging. So we just have to see if we can do it against Oregon.
Looking at your personnel compared to Stanford, is it about personnel or discipline?
Yes, I think it's about making plays and athletes making plays, but it is a lot about assignment football too, and taking care. That's what I've been talking to our team a lot today about this morning, and just now is reminding them that they have to know what to do. I mean, you gotta be perfect on assignments all the time, but especially against Oregon, and then you fundamentally have to do some of those simple things that are hard to do. Tackle in space, make sure you have your responsibility in the gap, make sure you have your responsibility in the option. So, that it's basically knowing, it's head knowledge, but then physically being able to complete those fundamental things in football that are hard to do against real good players in space, which is Oregon.
Mike, a lot of people keep saying that the Oregon defense is a lot better this year. Have you seen that maybe they've been improved this year?
I think that they've been improving over the years. I think that it's one of the biggest factors. They've always been, since Chip's been there, a great offensive team. I think that one of the things that's helped make the jump for them into where they've been is their defense is also really, really good.
Any particular position on their player that you...
The defensive scheme is really well done. Nick is a very, very good football coach, so he knows what he's doing, uses his players well, and yes, there are some tremendous individuals. That Dion Jordan is one of the finest athletes that we will have played against, and then I really like their linebackers. Their inside backers are really, really good football players.
You've been through so many of these things. How difficult is it to keep the normal preparation this week?
Well, what we always preach to our team is if you practice really preparing as hard as you should every week, then when you get to a game like this, it is not something new. And so you should be able to keep your wits about you. You should know that this is how we do stuff here. I would be remiss myself if I had prepared differently for Wisconsin than I am for Oregon, just because Oregon is a so-called big game. That's not the way we try to do things. So hopefully our players have had a lot of practice preparing, and they can have their best preparation week, and we'll need it.
Is the team going to have Thanksgiving together?
Yes, we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner for the team after practice tomorrow up in the stadium, so it'll be a little bit special. Families are welcome, and so if they have family members in town, they can come too.
What is Chef Raul's specialty?
No, what's the deal with that? I don't know. I don't think I have quite the in.
What's Chef Raul's specialty for Thanksgiving dinner?
I think he'll have all the typical works. The last Thanksgiving dinners that we've had with Raul have been a feast. So, you want to come?
I think some of us are going to be here.
It's $12. It's the best deal that you could ever find at all for Thanksgiving.
Coach, you talked about the defense being improved. We've also seen them give up some big yards up at the USC game, and we've heard talk about the receivers being compared to those guys down at USC. Do you see some opportunities for big plays? I know you probably don't want to be a shootout with a team like Oregon.
I'd rather not be, but I do think you're going to have to score some points if you're going to beat them. it's easier said than done to just say, oh, we're going to do what SC ended up doing. You know, we are better offensively than we were a year ago, and we've been at times pretty good. So, and those two receivers we have are really good players. And so what we have to do is run the ball to keep Oregon a little bit off balance, and then we have to protect Sean's if we ever hope to use Brandon and Marcus. That's what we have to do. I mean, we've got really good players there, and I love them. They're as good a tandem as there are in the country. But in order to use them, we need a lot of help from the line and let our quarterback get to them.
And what has this season meant to you, the way things have gone so far with the low expectations from the experts, quote-unquote experts, to come out and have them perform the way they have this season?
Oh, I enjoyed the process too, and I understand that there's ups and downs in our business, but I love this team for how they worked. You know, their response was awesome to being 3-9. I mean, a lot of teams could disintegrate off of a deal like that. And but I really appreciate the leadership, Marcus Sweet and Jordan Poyer, Andrew Sayamalo. Those guys kind of kept it. You know, they went to work, team went to work, and we got the spring ball, and I thought, well, this team looks pretty good. And then we got the fall camp, and I thought, I really like the vibe about this team, but it was still a mystery, right? And then when we beat Wisconsin, I thought, okay, we got a shot here. And then really, I thought a big win for this team was UCLA. Going down there, and then we just kept playing, and it's been fun. I admire this group because they overcame a really bad year a year ago and didn't blink and went to work.
And also dealing with some quarterback issues. I mean, a lot of people say this has been the coach who's kept this team together. What does it rank for you in terms of accomplishments?
Well, I try not to rank my life because I've enjoyed it all, and but I'm very thankful for the fact that these kids have bought into the idea that, and Coach Perry kind of brought this phrase to us, next man up, and so the reality of having somebody step up, Poyer gets hurt, Sean Martin steps in, Storm Wood gets hurt, and Teron Ward steps in, and then Sean Mannion, our quarterback, who had 4 big-time games, he gets hurt, Cody steps in, and we go beat BYU down there. The next man up deal has been really alive for the Beavers, and that's why I like it. This is a team. These guys like each other. They're an unselfish group of kids. It's an easy coaching job.